Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. How y'all doing? It's Kaiser. And well, I seem to be covering this a lot in the news lately because really it's the hot news right now. I'm just going to call it like it is. So, yeah, Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White and her comments thereof have been catching a lot of attention lately. And it's not hard to understand exactly why that is whenever, well, she's just so blatantly unlikable. So so a while back, we were told that, yeah, she was going to be playing Snow White in the upcoming role. But then we had the whole debacle with the set pictures that were released. Disney tried to cover up and say, nah, those aren't actually real photos from the production set. Then they had to walk that back and say, yeah, actually, those are from the production set, but, they're not supposed to be seen. So stop looking. And then, of course, Rachel Zegler, during her time on the SAG, after a picket lines petitioning saying that she deserves to be paid for every hour that her movie is streamed online, literally just completely out of touch with everything going on. It's been a whirlwind, and then of course all of her past things that she said that are not particularly what's the word here I'm looking for, you know lacking in gravitas, very inconvenient things that she said for Disney and her by proxy. Oh yeah. So yeah, the media is in full spin mode saying Rachel Zegler responds to backlash about Snow White's casting. So they mention here the West Side Story star has been dealing with a significant amount of racist backlash to her casting as Snow White since it has been confirmed. And then at present, one side is yelling that she is not right for the role, while defenders point out that the 22-year-old is insanely talented, which is really the only necessary qualification. Okay, well, I'm going to blow your minds here and take a third middle ground position by saying that, okay, you know what? Here's the thing. No, she's not right for the role because she's an insufferable, almost said a B word that I'm not supposed to say. She's an insufferably awful person, and she's just not a good, representative for your brand there, Disney. Second of all, just because she's a good actress doesn't mean really anything. I mean, the only other movie she was in was West Side Story, and there was enough controversy around that movie because she petitioned everybody to say, well, hey, it's 2021. If you don't already know how to speak Spanish, then you need to learn Spanish. So we're not going to include any Spanish subtitles in a movie where half of the language spoken is in Spanish. Because West Side Story is supposed to be this movie that everybody kind of knows, but now they're just like, yeah, we're not going to subtitle the Spanish speaking parts because the people out there, they need to just go ahead and learn to speak Spanish. Meanwhile, outside of the United States, they proceeded to, put subtitles in every version of the movie that's out there. So that's fun. So that has been kind of the backlash on that end, like where it started at. But now we get even more here with this little bit. So Snow White director's son criticized insulting Disney remake starring Rachel Zegler. Ah, yes. Remember that third option I told you? How about you just stop making really crappy live action reboots of your most popular movies, leave the originals alone, and just make new movies? You know what? You want to make them as woke as you want. Go ahead. Go right ahead. Make these new movies as woke as you really freaking want to. Just leave the originals alone. It's not going to help you sell anything, but it's going to make people at least go, okay, at least they're not desecrating the classics. Which, again, is only just like half of a smidgen of a step above the pieces of human debris and garbage that Disney is. Yeah, so getting into this here. So the Telegraph had an interview with David Hand. David Hand is the son of the original director. He's in his 90s. Says Hand is 91 years old. And Hand says, quote, It's a whole different concept, and I just totally disagree with it. I know my dad and Walt would very much disagree with it, Han said. He called it a disgrace that Disney is, quote, trying to do something new with something that was great and such a success earlier. Their thoughts are just so radical now. They change the stories. They change the thought process of the characters. They're making up new woke things, and I'm just not into any of that. I find it, quite frankly, a bit insulting what they may have done with some of these classic films. There's no respect for what Disney did and my dad did. And I think Walt would, and he would be turning in their graves. Oof. Yeah, that is a pretty scathing indictment of your you know, absolutely crappy product. Oh yeah, the media's kicking this around. Son of the original 37 Snow White director trashed in the insulting woke Disney remake. And of course, Rachel Zegler made the all the usual press rounds, saying all kinds of embarrassingly awful things and out of just being completely out of touch, and calling her co-stars stalkers. Because that's a great idea.
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There is a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that.
Again, just so utterly just, ugh. She's just so unlikable and so irritating and just so smug.
At this time.
So no Prince, or a different kind of Prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because we cast a guy in the movie,
right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. I mean,
Ugh, jeez. Yeah, so this movie is a walking disaster for Disney, for all the creators involved. Disney is scrambling. There's actually been some recent rumors coming out that I actually just heard today over on Doomcock's channel that Rachel Zegler's officially been muzzled by by Disney from a reliable source within said company. Again, this is just rumors, so take that with a grain of salt. But apparently, she has been told to dial back her rhetoric, and even has been issued talking points for talking about the movie going forward, because they already know that they've got a massive steaming turd on their hands. And not only that, this movie's still in production. It won't be actually ready for theaters until 2024. And yeah, there's no guarantee that this movie won't get completely axed by Bob Iger before it even makes to the theater, because, that they might just go ahead and have to invoke that, little known clause, force majeure, in the to basically say, yeah, we didn't account for the SAG-AFTRA strike being a thing, so we need to kit in this movie, because it's going to be a giant disaster for us. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for now. I say thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Please definitely go down there, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Throw on one of my playlists. Edge of Reality is a great playlist to have while you're watching stuff. You might find something new that you didn't know before. You might find something interesting. Anyway, I'm about 300 watch hours away from my goal, so please definitely help me out there. Do that for me, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.